ladies and gentlemen, my name is Exile and welcome to Minecraft: A Beginner's Guide. This is episode number 2 in our mini-series of getting started in Minecraft. Today we're going to be tackling this menu right here. This is our Options tab. Now this tab has so many different things that you can tweak and adjust in it that it would take forever to do an episode on this. So I'm just going to highlight the important ones that will just help you in starting your world. First off, this field of view. Normal, I recommend. When we get into later aspects of the game, we'll be able to use flight. Let's say you're looking for a village. We can bump this up all the way to Quake Pro and you'll see everything that can be rendered all at once. But playing that way, it'll make you seasick. So normal, I recommend. Next thing we're going to do is, because if you're following along with me, all you can hear is the annoying music. At first, it might not be that bad, but let me tell you, after a few years of playing the game, that music is it's just horrible. So, I have everything turned down right now because I was doing something. Master volume, I keep it about half. That's just what I prefer. If it's too quiet for you, all these settings that I'm going to be going over adjust to what you feel works best for you. Okay, I'm just going to give you some little tips and hints as and I can hear the music because I turned the volume up. But anyway, I'm going to be giving you little tips and hints for what I prefer. And like I said, the number one thing, I shut that music off. I just can't stand it. Okay, the weather, when it rains, it's especially noisy. It's not horrible, but it does become distracting, especially if you're mining underground and you're as deep as you can go. You can still hear it raining above ground. I mean, that's a little ridiculous. So I recommend to turn it down to 35. Hostile creatures, I usually turn this down to about 75%. It's not overbearing, but you can still hear them coming, and that's an important thing. Players, video speech, or voice speech, video speech, wow. Voice speech, those are for when you get into multiplayer, and those will need to be tweaked in game because some people's mics pick up really well, other people's you can barely hear. So it's just going to be one of those things. Adjust it to your preference once you're in game. The jukebox and note blocks, I really don't play a lot with them. I have one application that I use a jukebox in, but for the most part I just keep it at 50 because I don't use them a whole lot. The sounds of the blocks when you're breaking blocks, etc., I turn that down as well. Friendly creatures, they can become annoying because as we progress, and we'll get into this in our series, we're going to be making animal farms, cow farms, chicken farms. And when you've got a bunch of chickens all in one area, the sound is overwhelming. I turn that down to about 25% because I just don't want to hear them that much. But that's the best settings I can give you, in my personal opinion, for the music and sound. And once you've selected all your volume settings where you like it, just click done. It'll save it. Okay. And then the last one we're going to want to cover is video settings. So these will affect the performance of your computer. If you don't have a top-end machine, or you're more interested in just playing, not how well it looks, these have different settings you can use. And as you see, if you hover over the tab, a menu will appear giving you a little clarity on what each one does. Fast, lower quality but faster loading. Fancy, higher quality and slower. Now fancy can really lag your computer down if you don't have a pretty powerful graphics card. So keep that in mind. If you're getting really choppy video, you might have your graphics set too high for what you have in your PC. Smooth lighting, I keep it at minimum. I don't find a lot of difference between it and the maximum, so yeah, it's personal preference. Brightness, okay, when you load in, it's going to be set to moody. Moody is just what it says. It's depressing to play that way. It's so dark and gloomy, and it's just not very fun. I keep it about 80%. You can still see a little ways in the dark without torches set up or some sort of light source, and it's helpful because in moody you could be run out of torches in the dark and have a zombie come up and attack you, and you have no clue. So you want to keep that up a little bit. And then render distance, I think default, it's been a while, is 12 maybe, but 16 is pretty good. And the max frame rate I run at is 120 frames per second. I think default's at 60. So if it's just what you prefer, what your computer will handle, but I would try it at 120 FPS to start with. And then if you're getting choppy graphics and some lagginess, just play with these settings and you'll be able to smooth your game out. Okay, and then the last thing we're going to look at is right here on details. These are just some fun little things you can play with to change the way that your game looks. You can turn the stars on and off, how tall clouds are, how fancy they look. Just tons of little things that can heighten the effect of your Minecraft game. One thing I do want to bring to your attention, is the rain and snow. I leave it at default, but if it's something that just really annoys you, you can't handle the sound of the rain, you can go in here and turn them completely off. And once you've finished playing around with your video settings, you can click done. And controls we'll get into in the next system. We'll actually build a custom world where we'll go over to the controls and how to move, how to use stuff. So be sure and tune in for that one. It will be very helpful when you actually start playing, so you know how to access everything or where to go to find where stuff's at. And then if you're in game and don't like something, we'll go into controls and show you how to change those settings. But unfortunately, that's all the time I have for today's episode. If you enjoyed the video and found it helpful, please like and subscribe. But until next time, this is Exile, and I'm out.